And we out. Hey, hey, hey. Reminisce,
La 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 la. Yes, reminiscing time, reminiscing time.
all day, every day, man. That's how we
Mm-hmm.
doing it, man.
Yes.
Yes, every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Carrying the traditions of Sankofa, man. Sometimes we got to go back to collect what we may have forgotten. It's never wrong, man. Never taboo, man. Like with this fast-paced life, we're always go, 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 go. Sometimes it's good to stop and be like, hold on, let's just have a look around for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Be
Mm-hmm.
present, reconnect.
Yep. Yep.
That's what it's all about, man.
No doubt. No doubt. So how you doing though? How's your week?
Yo, week was pretty blessed, man. Actually, this weekend was a demonstration downtown, and this was I guess organized by the parents of Black children. They are an organization that really focus on like advocacy within the education system. And what they did was they had a march, a rally for Black students' education, to highlight some points that they really want to focus on, which is like the dropout rates, and then the anti-Black racism within the school system, and trainings that they feel that teachers need for to have more culturally responsive, I guess, ways of teaching, and a whole list of other demands. They have about like 10 of them. And so I got like a few of Stolen from Africa youth to come out and advocate. We had one, Brittany, got big up Brittany, who shared a spoken word, and also kind of like led some of the like the march up and down university and whatnot. We had Louis March, who was there from a Zero Gun Violence movement. And something that was kind of heartbreaking was he was sharing that all the demands and the things that were being spoken about that day, were stuff that was addressed back in 1979. When they had like one of the original conferences and things that they want to address, which was, police brutality, anti-Black racism within the education system, questioning how are guns and drugs getting into our community, things of that nature. And, like 40 odd years later, it's the same song, and the way how he was describing it was just like, yo, like there's nothing new that we're bringing to the table that they don't already know. So it's more about how could these things be implemented in policy? How can we create real change? And how do we hold people accountable? Like
We're
that
not
was
doing it.
what came about. Yeah.
For right, you're absolutely right, because we know the answers, and our grandparents had the answers. 2 generations ago, the answers were there, and we were asking for certain basic fundamental things that still have not been provided. Things that are within justice and legal rights to look for. And if these government organizations are like, "Hey, we want to solve these problems," then it's like, "Yo, these are the solutions. The Black people are telling you what to do. Why are you
Man,
not listening to them?" It's yeah,
man,
I'm so glad they bring that up, and that frustration, I can't even imagine just being like, we were saying this in 1978. Here we are.
yeah, like it actually brought like Louis March to tears, and this is a brother that I always look up to, definitely an elder in our community, someone who's always advocating. When we talk about reminiscing and holding the traditions of Sankofa, like he is like that breathing force, reminding us of our foundations, and to also have hope. But to see him get emotional and kind of like reliving this almost like a PTSD type of vibe, it made me think like, nah, man, like we really, I mean, we've been already doing a lot, but this is like, yo, enough is enough. Like we got to really focus on changing policy. Like it's great that we can submit recommendations, but what's the point of submitting recommendations if they're not going to be implemented? And then when they're not implemented, how do we hold people accountable? Like that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, and it's not about fighting for it like physically, but I mean, every single resource, like there's no more nice words that need to be said, and like yo, man, people want to like, yo, it's like condition critical. Like, yo, if you don't start implementing these policies and realizing what changes need to be done, like people are gonna start cutting corners and doing other weird things, and other, like taking justice into their own hands, which they have every right to. This is ridiculous. This is, some fundamental basic human rights are not being met, and it's like, yo, there's no more excuses. Like government, white people. There's no excuses. There's these organizations, institutions. Stop lying, stop denying, stop delaying, and stop dragging your feet.
That's it. And like I said, right now it's about holding people accountable and not being afraid to like speak up for some of these things that are happening. Like once upon a time, back in the day, it was more like, got to be like, seen and not heard. Like, we don't want to ruffle up any feathers, just walking on eggshells in certain environments and certain spaces. But now it's like, no, like everybody knows what it is, right? And if we're talking about, ensuring that youth have equal opportunities and that youth are being educated in safe and nurturing environments, then there really shouldn't be any debate. So it's like the metaphor that always comes up is like being like a gardener, being a gardener and seeing like you're looking at your garden and you may see certain flowers that may not be blooming the way how they need to be, right? So we got to look at the environment. Maybe they're in too much sun. Maybe we got to put them on the side. Maybe there got to be fertilizer. Maybe there's something wrong with the soil, but it's really to like see what do we need, as opposed to looking at the flowers and being like, well, why aren't you growing to your full potential? Why are some of these leaves dying? That's your fault. It's like, no, we're gardeners in this, and we all have to like apply and connect. So anyways, but that being said, the march, the demonstration, it was great to see some of the new generation out. There's a few people that I've seen over the years, but now there's like a new wave of younger people that are coming out, and there's youth there's children there, and everybody coming in unison, and that was blessed, which shows me that there is always this passing of the baton and that there's energy still going on. You know what I mean? So just gotta do what we can and keep it moving.
That's it. Peace to righteous. Thank you to the listeners that we got. And Maria, you absolutely right. That's what we up to here, holding people accountable, because it's not about just pointing fingers and chastising. It's about like being real and saying, do you care about justice? Do you care about society? Is your word your bond? Do you care about social healing? Then if you do, then like listen to this healing solutions that the people that you say that you're going to help are begging for, have begged for decades. Not even begging for, beg for, asked for, petitioned for, wrote for, submitted actual political policy for, like literally legal, illegal, every means and route. Like we've been trying to do this, and it's not even just to benefit us. This is benefiting society as a whole.
That's it. And that's the frustrating part, because when I look at the education system, these are supposed to be spaces where you're, cultivating, decent human beings. You're cultivating minds, they're everything, and when they're not doing that, it makes me just, like scratch my head and like I said, like this fight has been going on before I was born, so it's like, now that I'm in the school system, I'm looking at ways of how can I like really like push things further. I mean, we've done a lot, I'm not going to downplay some of the progressions and things that we've been able to do, but now I'm just like looking at like every opportunity I'm going to be bringing up certain conversations, as opposed to being like, well, they already know. It's like, we have some recommendations, and then doing follow-ups. It's like, so how's those recommendations going on? Are we implementing them? No. Well, how come? Okay, well, do you need support in this? Yes. Okay, well, here's what we're going to do, and so on and so forth. Like we're not at the place for asking now. Now it's more like, okay, here's what we're going to be doing moving forward.
Yes, absolutely. It's that time. Say word, yo.
So that was my weekend. I'm actually editing like a little like recap video right now, which I'm gonna have like online probably later on tonight or tomorrow. That really kind of captures the spirit and energy of the day. So so that was pretty much my weekend, man. But how about you, man? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. I've been going to the beach. I've been exercising, eating healthy, taking care of my body and my mind. Definitely doing the best that I can to keep my health up. And it's been an okay week. I just came down off my birthday last week, so like,
man. Happy birthday, man. Yes.
Thank you.
More life, man. More life.
Birthday vibes have been floating down. But last week on my birthday, I guess, I don't know if I didn't get to talk about it because it happened the day after our show, but I was on a wonderful program that this sister named Tanya did, and it was an Emancipation Day conversation with a bunch of brothers and sisters, which was really wonderful. And the big homie DeWitt Lee was there, and he was really we really got to chop it up about dropping jewels about how important it is that we just reflect on emancipation and you know, all the different dates and the different stories that are still untold. So Pete, I just want to give them a quick shout out, and like it's Emancipation Month essentially. So
yes, big up DeWitt Lee, man. I'm actually going to be getting on a phone conversation with him like after this, you know, because we got some things. He has some things that are happening like this weekend as well. And like you said, it's Emancipation Month. Like we're carrying on that energy and remembering, you know, our foundations, like those who came before us. You know, like we're literally here in the physical because of them.
Because you know, like ain't a damn thing changed as much as people want to talk about. You know, history hasn't ended; it just continues, and it's still. There's something that was happening back in the days of castles and slaves. It was like it was peasants and kings, and essentially, it's not peasants and kings anymore. It's slave masters and slaves. Like it's right. You know, essentially, they're just really erasing the middle class, and there's just not really regular life. You're kind of in control of your destiny, or you're being controlled. So there's very little middle ground.
Yeah, that's the real right there, man. So, and I don't know about you, man, but I definitely want to be controlling my destiny, man. And I'm walking into it. I'm living it. I'm breathing it, and doing everything I can to maintain, like, you know, my independence, my power, and all of that, man. That's the vibration I'm putting out into the universe, man. So you already know what it is, D.
Yo, thank you, Yo, happy belated degree day. Thank you, Righteous. Thank you, Maria. Yo, I appreciate it. Yo,
yes.
I right before the show started, I saw a bit of information, literally like 10 minutes.
What you got?
I wish it was better news, but it was another unfortunate RIP. Yeah, it wasn't a rapper, but it was producer Chucky Thompson, who was a famous bad boy producer. He's kind of, he wasn't super big as far as his name goes, but he was from the Washington area, and he produced the Big Papa for Biggie Smalls. He produced the Flavor in Your Ear remix, the Craig one. Yeah, like he's like.
That wasn't Puffy?
No. Puffy never did anything but put his name on stuff. Like no, but yeah, this is like he was one of the hitmen, and hitmen were some of Puffy's production team that. They did all the work, and then Puffy would be like, let me just tweak this. Now I'm a producer. Chucky Thompson was an OG bad boy producer, but he also produced One Mic for Nas. So like he's just a really silent but deadly legendary hip hop producer, and he died just yesterday, I guess. At the age of
that's
56. Wild. So peace to Chucky Thompson, and just want to remember the producers too.
That's really big, man. We got to big up those folks, man, because like I said, I always thought that like Puffy was like, or Diddy, whatever you want to call him, like I thought that he was like the producer, like, you know, actually making, you know, the beats and whatever for some of those classics. But I guess not. Like, you know, he just jumps on the ad libs.
He just jumps on the ad libs, and then when they're in the studio, and then it bangs, he's just like, yo, hold on a sec. Turn up the snare a little, just a little. Bam. All right. Now I'm a producer. And then he puts his name at the top of the production list, and because he was paying for the mix. And then like the 4 or 5 dudes who banged out and chopped the sample and did all the hard work are just like, okay, we're getting 5% of this, which is still $300,000 a year. Okay.
Right. So well, big up to the foundations, man. We definitely gotta do that, man. And all dancing in their videos.
I love it. It'll be funny forever. Dancing in going over to the death row.
The best part about that, and this is a good segue though, but like the best part about that is like when Suge, like he goes like into the mic, like to really exaggerate that point.
Yeah,
and,
for real.
And it's true, man. It's like, yo, come over to death row, man. You know what I'm saying? But speaking of death row, Nas, man, put out a new album, man, King's Disease 2. You know, I know we were talking about it, and I listened to it, and there was like 2 songs that just really got me stuck on. I didn't really get to take in all the other songs, like how you may have, but like the two ones were like, you know, the Death Row East song, and then 40 Side, man, like. And then there was the song with EPMD and Eminem, which was all right. That was
Oh
nice.
yeah,
But
yeah,
but
that's
those
true.
two songs in particular, for some reason, like I just couldn't get past those two. Like I just kept playing them back to back over and over. Like the production, the delivery, like the content that he's dropping. I'm like this is the storytelling that I appreciate from Nas. Like this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? And I was just happy to see like the evolution of Nas. You know, he's been in the game for like several decades actually.
Since 1991.
You know what I mean? So you're talking that's like, you know, 30 years right there right off the bat, and still being relevant and still, you know, shining and still having something, you know, meaningful to say. So I got to big that up though. But
Yo,
for him,
I gotta add on to that so hard, because I mean, besides the Khalees abuse and divorce episode, Nas has literally been my father, probably more than any other MC in history. It started off as Chuck D and KRS-One, but like I listen to Nas more than I listen to those two dudes at this point in time. I am such a Nasologist. I got to talk to Nas twice, and it was some of the greatest moments of my life. And Nas, he even raps about it now in certain ways, and I love him for it, because sometimes he'll say, yo, the hood was raised on my voice. He's made statements like that. He's like, yo, I've raised a generation of hood dudes. It's like, Nas can say that because he has done that. He literally has been speaking to New York and the hoods for 30 years. So, like, I mean, what I'm saying all this to say, I also had this criticism last year of King's Disease, because I was like, yo, King's Disease is mad dope. It's a really cool idea to talk about like the dark side of success. It's like hip hop, you know, like when you're rich and famous, you got to take care of your body and your mind, or else you'll like squander your money and fuck it all up. This is such a good idea, Nas. But Nas is like, the last album, it was like 8 joints and it was like 30 minutes long. It wasn't even that long. So I was like, yo, I always felt like, yo, this idea really could have used more like thoughts on it. Like, Nas, deeper. And then, like, I don't know if I'm not saying that Nas heard my comment, but like, I hope other people were saying the same thing too, because Nas didn't even say nothing. He's just like, one week before it happened, King's Disease 2, boom. And it's 15 songs, and it's like
full album.
Enough songs, full album, like got more guests on it. And just like, and he goes back into the idea, and he doesn't really blatantly say, yes, I'm expanding the idea, but what it is Nas just being like, I'm a grown man, I'm gonna talk grown man stuff. Like there's like, it's so mature. The album is so mature. He's like, I'm not trying to do a song for TikTok or Instagram, whatever. This is all grown folk music. Want it, it's right here. And like,
exactly, that's like the vibe that I got, you know, like an honest account of that maturity and evolution. Like he's not going to be rapping about the same things that he did on Illmatic per se, you know. I mean, of course he can reminisce in his own way, and a lot of the, you know, aspects of the album was doing that, you know what I mean, when he's talking about like Death Row East and like squashing the beef with Pac, and talking about how even some like he had even some of his mans like wearing Death Row East t-shirts and whatever, like those are like honest accounts that I always appreciate in music, right? Because that's vulnerable. That's like, yo, like my man's is like rocking with the next guys, you know, and he had to like figure a way to navigate that, and just like reminiscing and just looking at like, you know what, like he wanted to go out there quietly and squash, but when he went out there to film the Street Dreams video, which is interesting enough because, like, you know, Tupac also used that instrumental as well. I forgot what the song is called, but you know what I'm talking about. But either way, nevertheless, you know, it was cool to see that he wanted to go out there to squash it, but that was the same time he passed. So, you know, it was cool. But just like hearing all those different perspectives, man, that's what's up, man. So what you got, man?
I wanted to do a little bit. I try to do a little bit, you know, just bless the people with some music every episode.
We'll play a snippet because we don't want
just like a minute. It's just real soul music.
Let's go. My thumb struck a lot of lighters, pulled a lot of all-nighters, banned from some after-hour spots. My crew would choose violence, moving silence. Who knew I grew to build an empire? Streets had me against the ropes. Would've thought I was zip lining, texting the dresser, money off tech, pushing a Tesla. Load up a fresh one. It's one IPO to the next one. Rich from corporate, a thug and expensive mistakes. It's all a racket. It's the same thing, just the risk that you take. Moving too fast, blues on your ass. Them boys came through with the task. Peek through the blinds, you knew it was curtains. Breadwinner, take a L, lead a whole family hurting. Seen it a million times, sister wash him out with the verdict. So I'm clean as a whistle, drinking premium liquor in between two Argentinian sisters. They counting up for me until their fingers get blisters. What I blew that on, I cannot seem to remember.
Alright. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so good. Oh man.
Yeah, man. Everyone go out and stream that Nas album, man. King's Disease Part 2, man. Grown folks, hip hop. You know, that OG vibe, man, just giving that knowledge for the youngins. Like I said, like 40 Side is my joint, man. Like just talking about being accountable and, you know, stop making excuses and just like, you know, really seeing the bigger picture of things, you know. So big.
Oh
man,
my God,
big.
so you're so right, man. There's so it's been 3 days, but it looks like that this Nas album, even though it's not really it doesn't have some big, huge hit song on Metacritic.com, it is the highest rated album of all time. Literally of all time. Before today, the highest rated album was Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly.
Really?
And really. And like they Metacritic adds up like 30 or 50 or 100 online reviews. And I think To Pimp a Butterfly was somewhere at like 96 or 97, like percentage out of 100 positive reviews. And Nas's this King's Disease 2 is at 98. It's just the whole culture is like, we need this. This is just soul food.
Well, it's well deserved, man. Like in the meantime, I want to see if I can pull up some old Nas footage, man, because I've filmed Nas a couple times in Toronto. I want to see if I can find something real quick though.
Oh, that's
last week was like the Dipset battle, you know, me with the locks and whatnot, and I got the chance to really check it out, and it just really brought it back, man, to like that, like you said, man, like, you know, like New York Yankee fitted hats, man, Timberlands. You know what I'm saying? Like Dutch Masters and all of that.
Loud, rude New Yorkers and people cuffing mics and just like spitting, spit. Yo, Jadakiss is a beast.
Oh man,
rap beast. Just spit and spit. Like it was just raw New York hip hop energy. It was so good. I loved all the verses have been all great, but that was arguably kind of the greatest one in a certain way. Like the Jamaica one was amazing. I love Beanie and but like that the Dipset one was really special. And there was a couple moments that people were watching. They said that it almost did turn into a fight.
I seen it. Yeah, no, I feel the energy. It's but like, you know, they just kind of held it down though, you know.
Yeah, they were like, okay, we're not gonna fight, but I'm like, this is intense. And it was great. There were so many moments. Did you have like a favorite moment? Did you have
I think again, like some of the moments. Well, like I think it was like Jim Jones like fell off the stage or something like that.
You saw that.
I think like Jules Santana was. I saw this meme. Like, oh man, memes are so cold, yo.
When Jada took Jules' hat, his bandana off.
All of that, no, but they're saying like this one meme was saying like Jules Santana looks like the pile of like laundry in the corner of your room. Just I was like, yo, you guys are old, man. Like he came out looking all colorful and just, you know. And then I saw this other one where it's like, you know, like Dipset came out with like, you know, like liquor and blunts and whatever, and you got like the Locks coming out with like smoothies and doing push-ups and like it just shows like the evolution of just where people are, you know what I mean? Because it's true, like Styles P and those guys, like they've been moving more on a healthy tip, that longevity and like, you know, like this, like the King's Disease thing, like certain things are just not sustainable. And speaking of not sustainable, rapping your lyrics over the recorded version of your song is not sustainable. Stop it, man. Stop it. When they addressed that and they came with the real hip hop, I was like, yo, you can't. This is different. This is the differentiation. Yeah, it sounds great when you're in the car, when you're in the whip, you're at home, you're bumping through the speakers, that sounds nice, mixed and mastered. But when you're on that stage, man, that's a whole other arena, man. It's like, yo, it is what it is. And like I mentioned before, man, like, yo, like sing-alongs are only for audience members, man.
Yes.
Sing-alongs are for audience members, man. Like, you shouldn't be on stage singing along, doing karaoke.
Say that.
Like, that's not what it is, man.
Not to your own joints, and not in a versus battle where you're supposed to logically be doing your biggest hits versus the other person's biggest hits. This isn't like some like secret underground like B-sides thing where you're like, oh, I haven't done this song in 10 years. I might need the vocals for it. Like, bro, like, how do you not know the words to Dipset Anthem? How do you not know the words to Welcome to New York City? Like, yo, Jewels, come on, guys. You should like Santana Town. You don't need the background vocals for that. Like, come with your verse, especially when Jadakiss comes out and like they throw on the Who Shot You beat, and Jadakiss does 100 bars, no background, no breath, no fucking up his breath. Like, literally just a clinic of murder. Jadakiss alone is literally murdering all the Dipset. It's like, yo, we don't even need Styles P and Cheek right now. Jada's murdering. No, and then he calls him out. It's like, yo, we haven't really rocked on a single one of our beats. You guys are rocking like all your lyrics, like your beats on your lyrics. This is just embarrassing. And it's like, you guys, we come from the 90s. You guys aren't like these 2000 era kids who should need to do that. I was so with you, man. Like there was just, that would just show that the Lox were on a higher tier of performance and containment with their legacy than Dipset was. And I went into it thinking, like, I listen to more Dipset than the Lox. Yeah. And I thought Dipset might win, but I was like, nope, Lox mopped them up.
Yeah, like, and it just really shows that, like, when Dipset came out, like, they really used like the marketing or whatever, because like the Lox they're always gritty. Like, yeah, they had some shiny moments, like, like the Benjamins and working with Biggie and Puffy and all that kind of stuff, and then like Rough Riders and what have you. But like when I think of like Dipset, man, they really took like the marketing and the branding of things to a whole nother level. You know what I mean? Because like Cam came out with the the pink fur coats, and just like visually it was like, whoa, there's like this like spectacle to it. You know what I mean?
But they like USA.
Yeah, but that's not sustainable though. Like in the moment, yes, it got people's attention. It did do what it's going to do. Like that was like the original like social media, if anything. You know what I mean? But if we're talking longevity now, you know what I mean? If we're talking about like like what matters at the end of the day, which is the actual like skills and the preservation of the culture. When you put them on stage, man, it's just like, okay, like it does not add up. Like it doesn't. But at the end of the day, it was a great for the culture. It was definitely a New York vibe. And yo, man, I'm trying to be Lox, man. I'm trying to be healthy, man. I'm trying to be drinking smoothies and doing push-ups, man. I don't know about y'all, man, but
yo, Styles P is on that smart gangster shit, yo. Styles P is like, he retired. He isn't going out like Scarface. He's like, yo, I'm gonna be old fat gangster that's healthy and like telling my stories when I'm 65. But I just wanted to say that it was awesome that right at the, like, it was super intense, but right near the very end, when a couple of them, like Jada and they're like, yo, I love these brothers, like we're intense, and like there was a moment where they all grabbed each other and they were like, yo, we're New York, we're black men, this is hip-hop energy, so of course we going at each other, but like we love each other, and this is for hip-hop, and like Dipset and Lox are together. So there was one clear super love moment, and it was like, yes, we need this. So like mad peace to them for that. And then there's like footage of them flying on a jet together after the show.
Yeah.
All
I
together.
love it.
It was like,
keep it moving, man. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like y'all do like a 50-city tour of North America. Yeah. Like, get your money in, like.
And they deserve that. Like ride that wave, like And even for the new generation who wasn't really aware of Jadakiss and like what he actually brings, I know that there's gonna be new people going back in the archives and checking out, and I love the fact that like on the live, like Puffy or Diddy mentioned that Jadakiss wrote his verse for Benjamin.
Yeah.
And I was like, good, like I rate that. You know what I mean? Like, because to me, like that's authentic to me. It's like, yeah, you didn't write the verse, but give the man credit. Give where credit is due, and that's authentic. You know what I mean?
No doubt. And it's like, yo, like that's the only reason Jadakiss wasn't on the song. Like, y'all don't know that like Puffy don't write his own shit. Like, come on, man. Like, yo, like how are you not gonna let the Locks run All About the Benjamins? They are gonna run that. And then Dipset was like, oh, y'all need Diddy. Like, they did not need Diddy. They didn't need to bring out
needed them, like, you know what I mean? What are you talking about, man? Like, anyways.
Exactly.
But yo, big up to them, man. Big up to them, man. I play this, you know, as a throwback video of the day for Reminisce. This is Nas and P Rock. I didn't realize that P Rock is in this. You know, that is crazy. But this is at York University York Fest 10 years ago, 2011. Damn. It's been 10 years ago already, man. This is crazy. And I remember at that time I had some peoples, you know, that were at York, and I got the plug, man. They're like, yo, we got Nas coming through. I'm like, yeah, I tried to get the interview, but that didn't work. They at least gave me a media pass, and I was like, all right, cool. And I was like, right, as you can see the footage, I was like right there with Nas, you know what I mean? So let's reminisce, man. 10 years ago, and the brother is still on top doing his thing, man. Let's see.
Nasir. Oh man, you right there. Got yourself. Got yourself a gun. Got yourself a gun. The kids, they run upon us. Out of us. We'll take me under. We don't try. We'll go eventually. Love him. That's my dad. That's my daddy.
All right, man.
Oh my god.
Yeah, man. People want to check this out, man. You can always go to the SFA YouTube account, man. Lots of archives over the years, man. Been documenting hip hop, you know, well over about 15 years now. You know what I mean? Different concerts, man. A lot of me and Mindbender have documented quite a bit as well. But yeah, man, that was such a blessed concert, man. And just seeing like the crowd, the demographics, all these like, you know, freshman students, you know, and just loving Nas. You know what I mean? You can see the love is real, man. So big up to that. I'm looking forward to like more concerts, and you know, hopefully we can get some stuff out here because I got some plans, man. Some plans. So Reminisce Show all up in there, man.
Yo, we are gonna be all up in there, just same as usual, man. Certain things never change. Yeah. Front row with the camera, front row with the lyrics. Yo, it's gonna be on and popping as soon as we can. Yeah. So
absolutely, man.
There was another good development in the culture. There's some other good news, some very good news that like we could kind of like. We gotta like lick shots.
Okay, let me know, man. Let me know what up.
After many years, it appears that it is official. De La Soul has regained control of their masters.
Yes, I did hear about that. Yes,
De La Soul finally has control of their music back. And they made a statement a couple of days ago that before the end of the year, they're hoping to have their albums on the streaming platforms that they should have been on a decade ago, and like finally get De La Soul getting some of this streaming money because you know they were only getting concert money when they were touring, and it's like, yo, what the hell? Like,
nah, man, they gotta get that in, and they have like the archive, man. That's from foundational stuff right there.
Super archive, and it's like whether you know, we're past the point of people like kind of being super precious about it. I mean, everyone has their own personal feelings about things like hearing classic hip hop songs and commercials and stuff and corporate whatever, because like I've heard a couple songs, like I heard the Black Sheep song, The Choice Is Yours. I think I heard that in like a Kia commercial or something.
Right. Yeah. I saw that, yeah.
And at first I was like, yo, this doesn't sit well with my soul. But then at another point I'm like, yo, man, like Drez, if he's struggling in some way, or if like, you know, he didn't transition like this, like maybe it's better that this song is introduced to a new generation through media. Indeed. Like whatever, like we're beyond just music, and like
30 years later, you know what I mean? So it's like, you know,
it's like, he didn't sell out like the very first opportunity somebody approached him. It's like, yo, okay,
no, he's allowed at that point. You're allowed.
It's like, okay, this is like we're getting to like some Rolling Stones, and like, you know, after a while, Aerosmith. It's just like you're part of American history, like, you know, like
indeed.
Yeah, you can't sell out. So I'm saying all this to say, like, De La Soul missed a lot of opportunities economically by not owning their own masters, and beyond the streaming versus the various places they could put their music, like now they can benefit from it. And like, it's not like they were starving, but it's like, you know, it didn't seem like they were doing as well as some other people.
Absolutely.
And like, big up De La, getting their power back. Tommy ain't my motherfucking boy. It's fuck Tommy Boy forever. And like Jizza's words are timeless. Read the label, say it loud.
There we go, man. Well, that's what it is, man. We got to figure out ways to maintain our independence, you know, put out things ourselves and make sure that we have our own, you know, autonomy, integrity, all that good stuff, man. So this is just one of those reminders, man. And with you know, the platforms that's, you know, happening right now, like we actually have a real shot of doing that. So we just got to remember that so that we don't keep getting recolonized and re-traumatized, man. So let's do it.
Ooh, you said it right there. You said it right there.
Yeah.
I guess on one last little note to throw a cherry on top of that is apparently Beyonce said she's coming out with new music soon. So she said she's been in the studio for a year and a half, and she's like, there's like a new energetic cultural renaissance happening right now. We're all like, you know, relearning and like trying to grow into the new ways of us being. So Beyonce said she's going to try to throw out, I think she said before the end of the year, it wasn't confirmed, but she's like, yes, I got new music's on the way. Very cool. So that's Weeknd has some new music, Nas, Drake, Beyonce, the Kendrick and
like too. Yeah, that's just exciting. I'm looking forward to like some of this music, and I like the vibrations that's been coming out, and I like that. Yeah, it's true. Like artists have had quite a bit of time to like produce and to, you know, come up with certain sounds and whatnot. Beyonce been recording for a year and a half. There's some heavy jam. She got a couple albums worth of material though, but I know that whatever they craft out is going to be something like, you know, that's going to be culturally like shifting and set like a whole new standard, which she always does, you know, because she only do things half-assed. You know, she comes out producing like bringing out movies, you know what I mean? It's not just an album, man. It's like it's a whole movie, man. It's a whole, you know, experience, really.
Oh, no doubt. It's a life-consuming chapter of artistry. Absolutely. So yeah, man, like I'm just still waiting for this new Rihanna too. And yo, man, like we're like 5/8 through the summer and the world is burning, but yo, we got a half decent soundtrack to the global warming planet we all live on now.
That's it. All right, man. Sounds goody.
Yeah.
Well, that concludes our session. I don't know if you have anything else to add.
Yeah, I mean, I have a little flyer here.
What you got?
I got a little flyer. This was an art show that I went to with the homegirl Eager. I don't know if people know Eager, but Eager did this. Eager was the artist who animated Brass Monk's video for El Dorado.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
We'll play that next week, yo.
Yeah. Eager is mad dope. Shout out S-Rock. I've been talking to him. And Eager, she did a piece here with Afu Ra, and there's a bunch of stuff. A little Michael Jackson bang, Thriller, So yeah, this was an art exhibit that I went to, and it was mad dope, and can't wait to go to just gatherings of humans again. So
that's what's up, man. So it is, man. Reminisce Show, man. Every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, man. Carrying those traditions of Sankofa, where it's not taboo to go back to collect what you may have forgotten. So we got to honor our past, to honor our future, and honor our present. All that combined, man. That's what's up.
That's what's up. That's what's up. We do this for the love and the truth, and for the youth. So yeah,
that's what's up, man.
All right, next week. We got some good stuff. Yeah, Colleen, thank you to all the people that were all in our comments. Yo, Colleen, Sandy, Maria, Righteous, all the fam, Kwame, yo, all the people who watch silently and still appreciate us. We love y'all, and
always, man.
See you.
And we out, man.